guys, how's it going? So, the days are getting shorter. What can I say? It's getting darker, a little creepier, maybe. No, love the arbor actually. When it is dark and there's just the lights coming up, it's very peaceful. You can see the arbor behind me. See, very pretty. Anyway, so thinking about topping from the bottom because there was a person I was talking to. I said, oh, you know what, I'm sick of topping from the bottom and telling them what I need to do and blah 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 with regards to BDSM and play, and you know, I want them to take control more, and you know, I don't know, topping from the bottom, it's a thing, and part of my brain kind of equates that with nagging, and looking deep down to it, I'm like going, but it's more of a trust issue, that you know, you don't believe that, you know, they can be trusted to do something such as, you know, fulfill a fantasy or something. And there's a whole lot of negotiations that went on, and talking and writing down stuff, and I basically asked them, you know, can you know, suspend your expectations? Like, you know, you've written fantasies. Some people do go to really a whole lot of detail with regards to what they're doing pre-negotiation. Now, if everything doesn't go according to plan, I said, well, what then? Like, you know, you've got this fantasy of what you want to happen, and it might start off that way or it might not. Are you able to accept that it's not exactly as you fantasized about, you know? Not just at the time, but later on. Because there have been some people that's like, oh, you know what, I've negotiated this happened, not quite what I thought, but it was good, and then that was at the time, and then later on they turn around and go, you know what, no, that was crap, that wasn't what I wanted, consent violation and all sorts of other things, right? I didn't like it, so therefore it's a consent violation. And this is an interesting point also, is that a lot of these consent violations have to do with what we call casual play in my area, is that even though you can regularly play with somebody, it's not in a long-term sort of DS relationship or arrangement. And there's been people that I know who play casually for a long time, and they've got their negotiations and stuff down pat, and then they trust each other, you know. Long-term DS relationships, not an indicator of, you know, whether you should or shouldn't do, you know, any particular thing. It more has to do with the trust of the person that you're playing with, and you know, being able to communicate openly with them, so that if things happen that you were not sure about, or you want more feedback on, this is for the tops as well. Don't get me wrong, this is for the tops, or for the Ds, is that you guys talk about it. Because how can you improve your relationship without communicating with each other? So topping from the bottom, I kind of see that as like the opposite of like the whole micromanaging thing, constantly checking on someone and constantly correcting them, not allowing them to make mistakes and learn from it, because some people need to make mistakes or learn in certain ways, and that's, you know, much better for them. It has to do, I guess, with trust. Now, some people will say obliquely, oh, I trust you, but the reality is that there's that little nagging doubt, and I wonder if it is about trusting somebody or trusting their own decisions, because things aren't done in the way that they wanted it to be done. It's a control thing. That's what the whole BDSM thing is about, is what is it, the balance of power exchange, giving up control, taking control, and the whole, I like just giving up control and you being a sub is something that's pretty much a misnomer in some ways, because a lot of long-term that I've talked to, long-term submissives or S types, they have a real problem with control, in that it's not the lack of control, is that they feel like they need to control everything and they have a hard time letting go. which is the opposite to some, I guess the DOMs, some that I've seen, is that they would like to delegate some of the, and I wouldn't say minor, but some of the things that are quite within the D's, the S-type's control to be able to do, and for the S-type to hand over another part of their control that they find hard to release because they see it is actually doing damage to their S, causing a whole lot of anxiety and all that sort of stuff. Now, it's an interesting thing to think about, topping from the bottom and using that as a mechanism to say, what's the issue here is really to do with trust. And when you think about it, and it can take a while to think about, it's definitely an interesting point. And some people, they believe that they've given over a lot of control when they in actual fact haven't really, because there is, and there's always a part, usually in a person, a little part that's very hard to release and give control over, that inner part of you. And the thing with what they call TPE and power exchange is that it's difficult to give everything of you 100% 24/7, because you do have to devote your time to everyday things. So the whole myth and reality thing with that is a big thing. I keep saying thing a lot. But anyway, topping from the bottom, suggestions that I had was basically, okay, ask yourself about your expectations. Are your expectations in line with the reality? If things don't go exactly as you want, are you of the mental frame of mind where you can go, okay, that wasn't exactly the way I fantasized it, but this is the good stuff that happened. And also later on, if you ever have a disagreement or an argument, are you able to then not bring that up and say, oh, but you didn't do this exactly? If it doesn't meet your expectations and you don't say anything at the time or soon afterwards, what right then do you have to bring it up? Are you able to move on, as it were, discuss it, move on, plan for something a little better next time? The other thing is, what causes you to top from the bottom? Is it the trust thing, or is it because you're impatient? Things aren't being done on your own timeline, which is kind of the antithesis of being a submissive. You sometimes need to exercise patience and wait for things to happen. Part of that is providing an environment for your D to be able to execute whatever they need to. Another thing is to be able to know that you are also your own person as well. That, despite the fact that you have, devoted your life to an awesome dynamic, that you are able and are quite capable as a person and as an individual. So, there's that. Anything else that I can think of? I guess it's more talking about things, not completely to death and in finer details, but also being able to let go of that control, which is all a part of being a submissive, trusting them to say, okay, this is basically what I want. Don't give them too much detail so that there's no wiggle room or that they feel like they have to adhere to a specific script. Keep your mind flexible. Keep your heart open, Anyway, Thursday, late night shopping. Today, tomorrow, and then election day. Oh my god. I have no idea. Actually, there's something really, really pretty I've got to show you. It's like the sun coming up from behind the clouds. That is really pretty. Anyway, I gotta go, guys. I've got work to do, day job, and other things. Working 7 days a week, guys. Run, 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 skitter, skitter, skitter. The life of a rubber cat. Love you guys.